to it. I'm going to start right away because I have a lot to get through here. So let's start with the bag here. So this bag right here that I chose for my ultimate vehicle emergency kit, this is an actual decommissioned medical bag that we have at work. This is the reason why I picked this is because A, it's been tried and true and tested on the job for its ruggedness. So that's why I chose it. Number two, it's basically, there's a lot of pockets, side pockets. So there is a lot that I could store and carry in this one bag. And I just basically like the fact that it's not a hard cover, so I can actually throw this somewhere and I don't have to worry about it banging around. So that's why I chose this medical bag. All right, so we're going to start with the front here. This part right here is mostly for tools and such. So let's go ahead and open this up. So we'll start off with, I have some utility gloves here. There's so many uses for utility gloves so you don't hurt yourself when you're working on whatever you're working on. I have a nylon utility rope. I got this at the thrift store. This was $4. Many uses, from just tying down cargo to tying down tarps. So there's many uses for a utility rope. And then from there, I have some latex gloves. These are the heavy duty latex gloves. I like using these, especially when I'm working on the vehicle, because it's a little bit more dexterity than the utility gloves. So that's why I have a bunch of these utility latex gloves. So as you can see on here, there's many different pockets, and that's why I really love this bag. And you can use these hooks for many things, but again, there's so many that I didn't fill them up, but that's why I have most of the essentials in the back too. All right, so this right here, this is what I call my etc. pouch. My etc. pouch is, there's things that I can throw in there that I may or may not use, so that's why I store it in this little pouch right here. From there, I have some paracord in here. What else is here? Ooh, I got some crazy glue. Crazy glue is very functional. Anything from fixing little things to, you can actually use this to quickly close up a wound. So many uses for crazy glue. From there, I have a huge Sharpie for writing down stuff. I have a sewing kit. So if I need to fix something out and about, that I can use the sewing kit. We have a whistle, so if I need to get a hold of somebody, that can use this. And it does have this little compass right there, but primarily I use this for a signaling system. So we have a whistle. I don't go out without using my utility titanium knife, and this is the JetFlick. So I have this just for like odd things that I need to cut. Oh, the reason why I keep this in here is just to make sure it's safe. So these are my water tablets. And I'll talk about this a little bit later when I go more in depth inside the bag. These water tablets are for emergency use, for if I need to basically drink some water. This is a safe way to clean up the water and to make it drinkable for myself. So these are these water tablets for emergency use. I think that is it for my etc. pouch right here. So this is right here, this is a hand saw. So if I need to basically cut down some timber for survival reasons, or if I need to make a survival shelter or from firewood, I can use this handsaw. And that's it for the front pouch. So let's get into the back here. I have my light sticks. So for anything from signaling to light, I have these light sticks for that. From there, I have some of my tools. So I have some medical shears for cutting whatever I need to cut. I really like these because they're so tight and they're so strong. So I have that. My wrench, so an adjustable wrench. So if I need to work on my car or work on anything, I have an adjustable wrench. From there, I have some screwdrivers. This is my reactive bit screwdriver. This pouch right here. And this is my Allen key set. So there's many uses I could use all three of them for. But anyways, these are probably around 80% of the stuff I need to work on is I can just use these three items. So that is my front pouch. So let's go ahead and work on the top part right here. The top part is more in depth in terms of some of the specialty tools that I may or may not need. All right, so for this part right here, I'll start pulling them out. And so first thing, we have duct tape that's used for many items and uses. From there, I have my NOCO booster pack for if I need to boost my vehicle. If it's dead, I'll have this. From there, I have my portable air compressor. Many uses for filling if I do have a flat or I need to fill up something with air. So again, I have my portable air compressor for that. Okay, I promised everybody that I would, and here it is. I have my mini portable fire extinguisher. So this right here is a BC fire extinguisher. The reason why is it's compact. Most of the things I would encounter in a vehicle would be more so it's either petroleum based, plastic, or it's electrical. So I could go with an ABC, ordinary combustibles for A, basically petroleum products or fuels and gas for B, and then electrical C. So that's why I have this mini portable fire extinguisher. All right, so I have a water bottle. So again, going back to my water tablets, if I do need to purify some water, I can just go ahead and grab some water out of wherever and then drop a couple tablets inside here, shake it, wait the recommended time, and presto, I have some clean drinking water. So these work in combination. All right, from there, I will start in the back. So I have my headlamp. So the reason why I use headlamps, and I really like them, is because I tend to, most of the time when I need to use a headlamp is when I'm either doing something with my vehicle or trying to find something. So I always would like to keep both my hands free. So that's why I use a headlamp. And this is the Petzl Pixa 2. So really great. I had these for years. From there, I have my two-way radios. These are really great if I'm stuck somewhere that doesn't have any cellular coverage. I can either have a fighting chance of, I have a digital tire gauge for air. So if I need to check and see if any of my pressure of my tires are good, I can use this. From there, I have a throw bag. So this is basically a buoyant throw bag. So if I ever come across a situation that I need to help somebody, I have this mini throw bag that I can just take, throw in, and help somebody. And this is buoyant, this is floatable. I learned this from work. So I got this mini throw bag for emergency situations. And from there, I have my life tent. So life tent is really great. So if I do need to create an emergency shelter, I have my life tent. So inside there is everything I need. And then I have another emergency whistle that I will possibly need if I do need to get a hold of somebody. And then from there, I have, it's back here with the life tent, I have these are my tent stakes. So in combination, go ahead and use these two so I can provide myself a survival or safety shelter. And from there, I have my emergency blanket. This is from Life Bivy. So again, emergency blanket, and again, another whistle. So basically how it would work is I would put up the survival tent, and then from there I would use a survival blanket inside, and then finally I would top up this survival tarp on top just to give it a little bit more water resistant if it rains. And as you can see, it does have that reflective material on the other side, so it reflects some of the heat to keep myself warm. These are something if I am in dire need. So I just have some emergency food here. These are basically MREs. I got some crackers and what's this? Oh, fruit punch, carbohydrate electrolytes. Yeah, I just picked these up somewhere. At least I have a fighting chance if I am stranded, I need to consume something. So MRE crackers and carbohydrate electrolyte fruit punch. So let me know in the comments if anybody had this. I've seen some videos of people actually trying to take these MREs. And anyways, leave a comment below if you've actually used these. All right. And then here's another thing that everybody commented on and why haven't you done it and used. And this is why I made this third part of this video is maps. So I took advice on some of my subscribers is to include a map system on here. And I got called out on it. What happens if the GPS goes down? And that's why I went ahead and promised and I got maps. I picked up these maps from my local bookstore. Really, the great thing is they are laminated, so they are water resistant and tear resistant. So this is really great. So right here, I have the map of some of the places that I normally travel when I'm out. So would be if I'm going out camping or on a long road trip, I have my British Columbia map through the mountains. Because most of the cell service some places in the Rockies don't have cell service. So that's why I have a map. And then I have my Calgary, Banff road maps. There's some places that I travel that don't have cell service, Banff National Park. So that's why I have this map also. So really got to have maps. Thank you so much to point that out to me. So I have my maps. All right, as you can see, I'm running out of space here, so I'm going to try to make sure I have everything all in. This back part here is another part of this bag system. You can't practically have a survival vehicle kit if you don't have fire, so I have my fire kit. So everything in here that I will need to start a fire, from a emergency paracord to fire starter. I have my plasma lighter, my ferro rod, and waterproof matches. So everything I need to start a fire. And from there, I have, what else is in here? Oh yeah, I've talked about this a lot. I'm in love with this knife, and most of the survival kits or kits I do have, I will try to include this. And I bought a second one of these. This is my Gerber Strongarm. Love this knife. This is the real deal. This is such a heavy duty knife. So it's practically, you can use it for a lot of things too. And I don't have to worry about breaking it because the metal is so thick. So again, this is the Gerber Strongarm for my knife. What else is in here? Oh yeah, this is self-explanatory. So let's just say you're stranded and nature calls and you do your business and, oh, I don't want to use a leaf. What am I going to use? I have dude wipes. I carry dude wipes. This is not open, so keep the moisture in there. Can't go wrong with dude wipes. All right, let's start with, what else is in here? Oh, there's more stuff in here. I have my power bank. So if I need to charge some of my electronics, I have my power bank for that. And what else is in here? Oh, I have some zip ties. So many uses for zip ties. I have a lot of them. So that's why I carry zip ties for various reasons. Okay, so that is it for the internal parts. Now, the other parts that we need to look at are the sides and then finally the back. So I will go ahead and start. So the top here, I have, this is my, let's just say if I'm traveling and I don't want to take this whole bag with me, I have a mini version of this that I could maybe take to maybe if I'm going somewhere on a hike that I really realistically don't want to carry this whole thing. I have a mini version of this per se. So I have this on top here. This is the Maxpedition pouch that I had. I purchased a second version. In here, I have my O-Light flashlight. I have my Leatherman Skeletool for various reasons. I have my tactical pen, and behind here I have my notepad if I need to write anything down. I have my Tide to Go stick. If I'm traveling and I get some stuff on my clothes, I have my Tide to Go stick. In the back here, I have, from there, I have, not too much, I have my eye cloth if I do need to clean my screen of my phone. And then finally, I have, no, sorry guys, it's not an Altoid emergency kit. It's actually Altoids. If I'm out and I need to need some refresh my mouth, I have my Altoids. So would have been cool if I actually put a survival kit in a survival kit. All right, that is it for my mini EDC kits. All right, I am totally running out of space here. So let's start with this part right here. The side pocket right here. The last video I did, my emergency vehicle kit, I do have my rechargeable safety signal horn. So I can go ahead and connect this. And from there, because I have my portable air compressor, I can go ahead and fill this up. And now I have a way to either get a hold of somebody, or possibly if I'm stranded somewhere in the woods or something, I can go ahead and scare off some animals. All right, that is it for the side there. Now on the other side, I promised that I would actually improve on this even more, so I went ahead. This is my medical kit I have on the other side here. And when I go ahead and open this up, there are two things that I included that I promised myself that I would put in here because I wanted to market this kit as the ultimate, so that's why I needed to include this into my system right here. But anyways, so when I go and open this up for you guys, there is the standard stuff. We have your bandages, your tape, tweezers, and behind here I have some Q-tips, some medical gloves. So the two things I really wanted to include that a lot of people said, hey, why don't you have this? So is my tourniquet. Very important. So if you are in an absolute emergency, you will definitely need to include a tourniquet. Now, my recommendation is in your local area, take a first aid course to basically properly apply a tourniquet, not only on yourself, but on somebody. We have my medical shears. I have a lot of Band-Aids, another Mercy blanket. I have some alcohol swabs. But the other thing I really wanted to include, because I'm a first responder, is I went ahead and bought an hemostatic gauze. So basically what this is, if you have a massive wound that it is bleeding and you can't stop the bleeding, you can go ahead and stick a hemostatic gauze into that wound. This stuff right here will basically help clot the wound more so than actually putting a Band-Aid or bandage on the wound there. So basically how it would work is if you have a massive laceration wound, whatever, you go ahead and put some hemostatic gauze inside the wound, pack it down, wrap some bandage around. If it doesn't stop bleeding, you can go ahead and possibly try to use a tourniquet if the bleeding doesn't stop. So those are the two things I really wanted to include in my updated first aid kits. And also too, I have some safety pins in here too. All right, so pretty much that is it for my first aid kit here. Now, the last thing is in the back here. So in the back, there's two items that, again, some people said I needed to include, so I went ahead, promised myself and to people that I would actually do this. So number one is, okay, so I think the next best thing was I got an extra pair of socks, because you know how much it sucks to actually have wet feet. So I have an extra pair of socks. Depending on how far I'm going, I might add like a t-shirt or some pants. But anyways, minimum socks. And then the biggest thing that I needed to include in my ultimate vehicle emergency kit is basically an emergency blanket. So this right here is, I got this from Amazon, and this is a fire resistant 80% wool blanket. This is really great for if you need to keep yourself warm. Also too, if it does get wet, the properties of this material will keep yourself warm even if it's wet. So always carry emergency blanket in a kit like this. And now I will give you my final thoughts on this whole kit. That is it. That is my full build of my final and honestly most dialed in emergency everyday drive emergency kit. It isn't about being overpacked or being paranoid. It's about being that one person who's actually ready when something goes sideways. This setup is built around one thing: capability under pressure. Now I'm curious, what is the one piece of gear you think is missing from this kit? Drop it in the comments below. A lot of what I've seen here came directly from you guys. If you got value out of this and you're into real world EDC emergency gear and practical setup like this, hit subscribe, because I've got a lot more builds, reviews, and upgrades coming. I'll see you in the next one.